afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Off here to our 1 vs 1 on Arnhem Checkpoint. North it is SturmtigerGiap, fighting for the Oberkommand West, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the Panzerdivision with Luftwaffe ground forces, grand offensive, and special operations. Triple infantry west and south it is Deathcore. Fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Taking on the role here of the 1st Armoured Division with Mechanized, Rifle Company, and recon support. All infantry on both sides. And as always, please remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe. When you do subscribe, press the bell button if you would like to get updates. Just something you can do to help fight the YouTube algorithms. And as always, a big thanks to my Patreon supporters, without which this episode might be possible. You can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon. You can just donate on PayPal. Links are in the video description. With that little messaging out of the way there, we got Deathcore straight with the Mechanized Company, featuring the Mechanized groups, Reserve Armour, Cavalry Riflemen, Mortar Half-Tracks, and the Combined Arms ability there. We got Rifle Reasons there with Triple Rifle, well, I mentioned the Triple Rifle Bullets, but anyways, bring up here in the centre, we got also here the Giap's occupying territory. Worth noting, Giap actually went straight for the centre, deciding to occupy this, maybe also frustrate Deathcore's movements, and actually has not grabbed any territory in the early game. Bit risky then, in particular as an opponent can go for Mechanized and that way rush you down with vehicles. Though of course, this could arguably be one reason why Giap rushed the centre, because if he occupies the buildings, then the Dart Truck suddenly becomes a lot less useful against him. So there might be some possibilities of that other way though. A very aggressive start from both sides, but particularly from Giap, again just very disruptive start to get throw off his opponent's early game and sort of build on that. Though again, he does risk starving himself out if he's not careful in these situations. More full screens for Giap and for the Panzerdivision. Rather as the full screen is here, heavy cover versus garrison cover. They can't necessarily, they can apparently. Hard to tell that at times, but I went backing off the full screens, realised that's going to be a silly engagement. Either way though, neither side's really got a lot of points connected to this one here. So that's really the only point that's connected. And with 2 minutes into the game, and there's really only like one connected point on both sides. That's actually pretty rare for, like a high ranked match. But again, highlights just, again, how aggression can match, but also just what happens when players suddenly get aggressive. But anyways, points have been grabbed. Now we might see some actual connected territory here for Giap and for Deathcore besides 1 point. There you go, point being seized there. In this regard, after Giap's early raid there, he basically backed off, deciding he probably couldn't push his luck anymore. Meanwhile, got the Dart Truck hard working on the west side. Almost the first on fuel point back here. More full screen as well for Giap and the Germans, but while going up here to deny the Germans any use there of cover. Riflemen with one to the centre. So things have quieted down a bit after some very explosive moments there in the early game. But while on the entrance of the church, folks up engaging. You push back a bit. Folks come up here by the truck. They can probably hear the light vehicle. I'm a bit concerned about going for it. Note that they Deathcore. Oh, there we go. Access ammunition now for the heavy machine gun on top. Also got, I believe, tech there for Deathcore. That will most likely be the lieutenant. No, he's in fact going for. Wait, oh, he has gone for the lieutenant. I was just like, wait, where's the lieutenant up there? He's like, he already went there, so I'm not quite fast enough there. Giap will probably be taking up soon, though again, he's a bit behind in fuel, so he can't easily take up rapidly. We'll have to see what he goes for, though. On a map like Arnhem Checkpoint, which is wide open, lots of room to maneuver in, Mechanized reckon tend to be quite solid here, though of course he could still go for battle group headquarters rather than being shot to bits. East side, we got the Dodge up. They get another harassment bit there by Giap. The Sturmtiger's lead the way, and then they lead the other way as they get pursued by a large hunk of angry Americans. With the rifle in the centre, opening up their counter case was the M1 Garand. Simple sheer numbers though won the rifle. Ultimately, Reasons here trying to flank about here. Cavalry rifle out there for Deathcore, very much expected, quite popular. Relatively cheap assault infantry with access to anti-vehicle satchel charges, which certainly gives them a bit more punch. But again, very crucially, they're affordable compared to stuff like Rangers, who basically pack more punch once they get up with the Thompsons. But again, they're not quite as cost efficient and do lack that, really, really big snare. Okay, now on the way there for Giap to help with vehicles. I was expecting something more there from Deathcore, which is certainly quite sensible. Fifth car, the following up for Deathcore first. He's obviously realizing that Giap has a lot of infantry in the field, having a machine gun to deal with all of that infantry. It's an excellent investment. Lieutenant moving out here, slightly exposed to himself, but there you go. Fulton with the full screen from the centre. We got the Fulton in the church here, and there you go. Flanking up here. Note he's blocking the exit now with the Dart Truck. Since again, the front, they can't get out because he has to get out to the end. The longer he stays around, the more painful it gets for Giap here. So let's see when to retreat. There you go. So there you go. Sneaky move there by Deathcore. Vicious but effective. We're getting there. Backing up the Sturmtiger, back here troops reinforcing. Healing going on this one. 50 cal almost done. Moving up west side here is going to force Giap direct to that to defend his resources. Meanwhile, Deathcore's already managed to secure most of the map here from Giap. Giap's early harassment ultimately didn't quite pan out there, and now Deathcore is looking like he has the initiative on the west side here. The Dodge Truck are getting after, and Sturmtiger's all clash, and the Dodge Truck, well, dodges all the rockets. Pretty good there for Deathcore. Pretty unfortunate for Giap, who definitely wants that thing, you know, destroyed. Kaput. Zerstört. On the west side of the liaisons, even as he's fought to deal with the troops here, can't easily afford to divert attention towards that. Focus the move, and we do get the battle group headquarters for Giap here. So probably going to be seeing some fast take here from Giap, but relatively fast. As for the other commanders, you usually have one of the more expensive techs there to get out medium tanks compared with the other factions. Get out that medium arm pretty fast. Putting up against Lieutenant Ryder, Hip come the church, and Giap is going to have to fall back. He's got no way of dealing with this. Plus, he's still losing his resources here. So, I think for now, the wisest thing to do for Giap might be to try and to some degree accept the center is not going to be his for some time. Though, of course, it's going to make it hard to keep track of the Dodge Truck since, of course, they gives freedom and room for them to just quickly move from where to where he wants it to, which is going to be a bastard for Giap. But at the same time, I think an even bigger bastard for Giap is if he doesn't get his fuel sorted out there. Ambulance halfway down there for Deathcore. Again, moving westwards, racing caught here by the western fuel. 3 men left, and the rest run. We got assault rifles on the way for Giap's force. He actually goes for the flak half track, deciding that sterner measures are needed. He's not going to go for the fast tech here. He will commit to the 251-17 to put pressure on Deathcore's forces and the light vehicle. A bold maneuver there by Giap. A strong weapon, the one that does require a bit of babysitting, which does mean a lot of players aren't necessarily too keen on the 251-17, but if you can handle it properly, it can be incredibly potent. A real pain for the opponent to deal with, in particular once it eventually too, where it gets a strong damage bonus. That means you can actually really hurt infantry and light vehicles. We'll have to see that Giap handles it. For now, he's in a lot of pressure from Deathcore from Americans. Akema right as well gets flanked. Troops setting out here, might move eastwards, basically just sweep up the east side instead. An interesting up there of development from Giap if that is what he does. We got the 251-17 almost done here. And Deathcore could also theoretically begin going for Stuart light tanks, but he's going for weapon racks first. Definitely not a bad pick. He's got plenty of resources. Does in fact look like here Giap, rather than keep fighting on the west side, he's basically heading eastwards here in a random maneuver here versus Deathcore. There you go, catches the Dodge Truck with a Panther fast. 251-17 already. Could he finish it off here? Not impossible now. They can't move as easily. The Sturmtiger is going to do some heavy damage there from the cover to deal with it. But there we go. They are forced away. They're moving in from the north here, though. Still, great maneuver here, but Giap, very good. Very important to do also, to be honest. Black half time moving up. Needs to be careful though. The cav rifle is still rushing down and hit it with the satchel charge. On the other end, if he's too slow here now, Deathcore actually suffering heavily in there. Go down to half health. Need to keep the flak half attack moving, I think. Needs to get down so you can actually flank the rifle and turn there. Force moving up here. Okay, move eastwards. Giap making a strong push here. There we go. Straight to the flank there of the rifle squads. Causing heavy, significant damage. Again, Dodge with that being repaired. He's probably going to use critical repairs. No, he isn't. They don't have the veterans here for it. He might be able to then catch it and deal with it. All the way, pushing forwards here. Pushing east as well there. 50 cal is all the way in the west. It can actually stop Giap's push through the center east now. The Bazooka team ready here for Deathcore is going to try and use that to rush down, I imagine, the flak half attack, maybe in the Dodge Truck. Quite explosive tactic. Rather than holding up here. Back here we have no medics yet, but he probably should go for those soon. I will go for those. The Bazooka team ready. We'll have to see how ready Giap is for that one, though. I mean, if he isn't ready, Deathcore needs to take out the flak half attack, but if Giap ready, this could end up painful there for Deathcore. So there's certainly a lot of possibilities. Got these fuel point ready to neutral, pushing hard west now, though he's probably not ready for the 50 cal. But Giap here being pretty swift in maneuvering here, trying to take advantage of these gains now to swing the game further around here. Deathcore, and we do get Luftwaffe ground force here for Giap. Fallschirmjäger away from the 3rd Fallschirmjäger Regiment. Going for the car point here. Is he dropping right on the point? Is he dropping behind it? Oh, he's dropping behind it. There we go. Catching the 50 cal bad spot. Now I can move the flak half to deal with it. Full with the cav rifle in here though. We're keeping westwards here. And there you go, flag after. Oh, dealing with the other troops. I need to open another 50 cal. The Fallschirmjäger is going to get absolutely murdered. And there you go, 50 cal now taking heavy damage. Routed. Probably won't result in a wipe on it. Still. Almost got it, in fact. So now he's got the eastern fuel. He's pushing for the western fuel here. He's bouncing more orcs in the front, but he's got the initiative now. Though, of course, Deathcore's looking to seize that initiative back with his bazooka taxi there. Follows the rifle squad there. And okay, nothing nearby. Flak needs to be careful. There he goes, spots it. Careful, he's going to rush at it. You're kidding with nearby can support, and there you go, misses! Oh my god, needs to pop smoke here. They've even got marked vehicle. Deathcore's sneakiness knows no bounds. Oh dear, Panzerfaust off, and he gets the Dodge truck, he gets it. The car flak half tech might just above Wilson's being hosed down, and we could see a wipe here on Deathcore's rear echelons. No, they get away. Lone survivor with a bazooka, incredibly lucky there for Deathcore. On the other hand, Giap's also lucky, he's survived the flak after it just shut down the Mark aircraft. East side here, folks, is take out, I believe, the Major. Meaning Deathcore, of course, rushing straight for medium armor. Good for him, but certainly not great news for Giap, who's nowhere near that. He's going to need more Academy members meanwhile. That was some dashing maneuvers there. And with that, Giap might have a slightly bit more initiative now. He's taking out the light vehicle, and Deathcore suffered significant losses, and now Giap could actually push up with all his infantry in his light vehicle. Though he needs more of a captain emphasis, he should be aware, possibly, of the tech. Of course, he may not pay attention to this, also may not be aware of the Major. That's going to feel really bad for the Major just dying without anyone knowing or caring, apparently. But there you go. Flak after good to go. 7 kills, veterans you won. 5th kill on the move here for Deathcore. Choosing eastwards. We got both fuel points under control of Giap and the Germans. Starting to turn that game around here versus Deathcore in a splendid manner. Full to the rifleman flak after in there, ready to lay down a heavy fusillade of flak that would certainly put anyone 7 feet under. Sturmtiger, is they good to go? Or 6 feet? Yeah, I don't know. They're dead and they're going to get buried. That's sort of more the point. No further take here for Giap. He's getting a kidnap, as though like one of the versus the tanks that Deathcore will hit him will be anything but sufficient. Full to the route it. Grab the center victory point. Grab the western point there as well. Flak half bringing up. Needs to be, of course, about Cavalry getting too close here. That could end up pretty poorly for the flak half tech, and I think Giap realizes that. Machine gun here, ready for Giap as well. Nice work, thumbs up. Full of that being shot to bits. The Zoom teaming up, they're going for the flak half tech. They're out in the open, they're taking heavy fire, they're being suppressed, but unless they're pinned, they can still take out the flak half tech. That's going to be a bit harder when they're suppressed. Usually there's a lower rate of fire. Machine holding up their troops as well. The bars out there for Deathcore's forces. Deathcore certainly struggling a bit here, but all he needs to really do at this point is just hold out sufficiently long enough to push out armor. And there you go. Second Kev, but also worth doing. He's actually gone for Panzer 6 on the Sturmtiger. It's something you rarely see here, but Giap is committing to it. Certainly ready to deal with armor a bit further. Thumbs up there to Giap. Second 50 cal for Deathcore. For the first armor division, focusing up in the center, got riflemen in the ground, the western munitions. Giap really is turning this game around compared to just the early moments where like his initial rush here failed. He was really in a bad spot, but now he's actually started to turn this around. Though there is still the threat of armor. Giap is, I think, possibly ready for it now with 2 like Kidnappers, the Panzer 6, and of course a plethora of Panzerfausts. Flak having got backed up with the Sturmtiger. Bazooka team still ready. Let's set the reinserts in such a poor condition they cannot hold out against the Germans. My God, Carl, we gotta run. We're no match against the flak half-track. Sherman on the way there for Deathcore. That's going to be a problem there for Giap to be at the bullets of blades, which is very likely to do, so he can set up more hits. 5th cal getting hit, but there you go. Cavalry appearing from behind the tree line. Going to go for the flak half-track with the 5th cal, though. There you go, getting hit with the concussive grenade as well. There we go. He's going to lose the flak half-track here. Undercutting, I think. Giap's possibly a little mistake. Nice comeback. And there we go. Kaput. He does manage to hit the car point, but he does lose a strong anti-infantry weapon here. In the west side, though, we got a fresh push here by Deathcore. Looking to outmaneuver Giap, taking advantage of these and focus to sweep through the western territories and cut the fuel off there. Thumbs up to Deathcore. East side, they're pushing course with eastern fuel. More riflemen away there for Deathcore for freedom and democracy. Oh, Giap definitely should salvage the vehicles whenever he can for extra fuel. I mean, 10 extra fuel could certainly help him a bit faster. Gets towards, say, a Panzer IV. Mines down here in the east for Giap. Very good. They shouldn't mean it. West side here going straight for the again. Just note the aggressive push here by Deathcore. No time to wait. No time to do anything. Just grab the territory. That is all that matters. Folks coming up here. Other squads I think should be to support. Of course, he's concerned about defending the car point as well. Brandhand coming out of there, forcing off in the open. And into the arms of the SturmtigerGiap wielding Fulskins. There you go, forcing retreat here, thumbs up to Giap. Meanwhile, another push here around the car front, but Giap is ready. East out of the Sherman advances. 50 cal on the way. The Sturmpaniers are up. Good hit on the Sherman, but they're going to need a lot more hits to take that one out. A lot more hits. And there you go, Giap realised that the retreats of the Kempers aren't in a position to assist. No further. Oh, we do actually have the take here for Giap. We do get the Schwer Panzer Corps going up now. He can authorise it. And it's going to take them down to get any Panzer Force. And meanwhile, Deathcore will most likely push out at least one more Sherman. But it's better than not having it at all, obviously. No Bullets of Blade here. Yet. Just being held down the west. Machine gun the weapon there. They're being pushed further west. We've got the Kevin holding up here. But the building does provide amp coverage here, making it harder for Giap to use the Kevin support here. And the second one is obviously within line of fire. Schwer Punch goes ready, getting the authorization done. Troops enforcing healing. Reitman bleeding out here. Not the greatest engagement there for Deathcore. Sherman falls back here. Sturm Pioneer good to go once more for Giap. And there you go. Folks retreating here on the east. Got 324 versus 390 victory points. 10 being grabbed here by the cav rifleman. 5th coming up, he might to the line of fire of the Fallschirmjägers. No, they are being upgraded with FT-42s. There we go. Ambush in the 5th cal, and it's caught out in the opposite unit's heavy cover. Nope, they also get the ambush bonus there, so they're doing extra damage here with the first strike hits, and they're almost wipe out in the 5th cal, but in one go. Brutal there for Deathcore, but great for Giap, who could have gotten the white, but lucky for Deathcore, he didn't. Up here, the Americans are forced to fall back in the face of the Schwer Punch quarters, backed up by most of Giap's anti-tank weapons. A formidable stronghold of fascism, which Deathcore cannot overcome. Fox is moving up here. Troops opening up there. Fox makes right here with the riflemen. Holding up here. Sturmpaniers holding up the building. AK troops sitting out as well. Schwer Punch quarters. Sturmpioneer halfway to Veterinary Fleet. Grabbing the western point. And 5th coming up the by the car point. Still, he should be able to render neutral, denying Deathcore once more his fuel. And he's actually not far off from a medium tank. In fact, he might be able to get out Panda 4 here before Deathcore can get out a second Sherman due to the very consistent and thorough field harassment that Giap's been going here versus Deathcore. So I guess thumbs up to Giap for that, but obviously a bit of a problem there for Deathcore. Worth noting to upgrade his area with the Bullets of Blade and send with the fuel income as he is. He may be more concerned getting out more tanks rather than upgrading the one he has. Though long term, he should strongly consider upgrading that Sherman with the Dozer Blade. Eastern here we got the Volksgrenadiers versus the reactions let's think about with the bazookas. And we go suppressed with the 5th cal and Mardus, cavalry riflemen charging across the field. Sherman blazing through the terrain, opening up the Volksgrenadiers. Forcing retreat here for Giap once more. West side, another push for the fuel point, opening their Giap, who was certainly starting to be a bit lax, I think, with his left flank. Good work there with Deathcore. Going straight for the fuel. That said, I don't think it's going to be enough to really slow down Giap's Panther 4 at this stage by much, but it is going to slow down, say, a second Panther 4, which is obviously going to be a bit of a nuisance there for Giap. Sherman rushing through the centre here. Giap once more losing a lot of ground, lacking any sort of serious way of stopping that Sherman. He is a bit exposed. There we go, almost taking out the entire Fox group. The 2 Academy members are there, but I don't think we'll quite deal with it. Sturmpani is still neat reinforcement. And suffered a wipe. Arse blow there to Giap, going up here on the right flank. Going to sneak out and hit some of Deathcore's calf points again, but he's starting to really fall behind here. And there you go, Panther 4 though is in line for Giap for Germany. Deutschland. Fixing up the Sherman here to cover the 5th cal. Still, might be a bit too exposed here for Deathcore. Perhaps just a tad too exposed. Making a push for those in fuel point, machine gun and Volksgrenadier. No, they have not been upgraded. 2 squads that could be upgraded yet still, but he might have plans for the munitions in other directions. 5th cal then obvious nuisance. And Deathcore can actually soon go for another Sherman now. Of course, he might be planning a bigger Sherman. Ooh, bung rate went off to a slow. In fact, that gave the Cav enough time to close on the Fallschirmjägers, clearing them out easily. Good work there with Deathcore. Less fortunate for Giap, obviously. Needs to get the car point back. Bottoming up, then running to the MD-34. And there you go. Double Kevin could take out the Sherman here before Deathcore's getting out of there in time. And there we go. double whammy, cooks apart the Sherman tank. Not great there for Deathcore. Nice kill there for Giap, but now there's the Panzer IV, and then Deathcore not only has a pair of bazookas and the settle charges until the Sherman arrives to really stop that Panzer IV with. So unless Giap does something silly with that Panzer IV, should have a good chance to stabilize and turn the situation once more in his favour. Obviously, Deathcore should upgrade the Sherman with bulldozer blades. I mean, that obviously would make that a lot harder for Giap to achieve. Right from there, falling back in the face of the Panzer IV. Adding the pin-like machine gun, very good. Needs to be careful, I think, about raiding his Panzer IV too far ahead of no support. Could risk getting surprises, mines, and of course losing the Panzer IV pretty fast, which would be very detrimental, I think, for Giap's chance of winning to lose the Panzer IV right away. A lot of bazooka fire there. Most rockets, though, planking off the frontal armour. Or failing to hit entirely, though at least one rocket has gone through. On the west side, encountering severe resistance here from Deathcore and the 1st Armoured Division, having none of that crap nonsense. Light team gone away for Giap, running with some artillery support here versus Deathcore. Interesting pick here. Not a bad one though, so can help control the centre. Big rifle push here, but we got the fighting shot from inside the building, got the Panzer IV to block this advance further. There could be a problem there for Deathcore. Oh, that did not land well there for Giap at all. Pushing eastwards once more, looking to up into his left flank, and there goes showing up the Kevin though, of Panzerschreck. From the Sturmtiger, lands a great hit on the Sherman. That said, he's obviously concerned about moving the Panzer IV to deal with the Sherman further. Though he's going to need to do it fast unless the Sturmtiger is going to get murdered. East side here, Vierson's falling back, can't quite push through, almost got the eastern victory point. We got 218 versus 379. Panzer IV going in aggressively here, decides there's no time to be dilly-dallying. Sturmtiger is being routed, sending too much fire there from the Sherman. Panzer IV moving in. We got one kill there. Eins. Did someone say Heinz? Nein, Eins, du Dummkopf. Ach, it's never Heinz. Anyways, going the eastern point here. Back here, reinforcing healing. The MD-34 definitely need of it alongside the Sturmpioniere. Fighting up in the centre. Brav scored the round hit finally. No upgrades for that Sherman yet. There you go, another 5th car, but no bulldozer blades. Guess he's not a big believer in those. And we got the Captain out here opening up fencing as well for Deathcore. That's going to be a different problem there for Giap as well. Plus, I mean, the Captain is just an extra infantry squad, which is obviously not something Giap wants to deal with either. Until he has small tanks out, at which point he can shoot it to bits easily. Got to the 5th car again, going for the car point. Thumbs up there to Giap. Almost got the 5th cal there. But there he goes. Sherman ruins the cover line. The flux is expressed by the 5th cal. Bit of a awkward tournament for still into retreating. Got the car point hit nonetheless. Panzer IV holding back, maybe awaiting repairs there from Giap's Sturmpioniere. Caravaf unrolling the right flank here, and we got an entertaining way for Deathcore to help deal with Giap's anti-tank guns. Fighting popping up bun grenade. I think I'm going to go with the blend cover there, to be honest. West side, we got the Panzer going for Lieutenant. Engaging the covered ruin, and the Lieutenant almost swapped out entirely. In fact, down to just one man. Does he get away? Yes, he does. Lucky Deathcore there. M1 anti-tank and halfway done there. Troops reinforcing healing. We got the line for gun there firing away. So far, a little damage, but no kills.
Anti-tank gun, ready for action.
Skirmishing there. Bazooka team moving up and taking care of both the Panzer IV and the Sturmpioniere. In fact, down just one man. Could possibly see why Pip Deathcore so slow, and even then might still happen. Yes, white bazooka dropped. Small win there for Giap. Oh, Deathcore on the 1st Armoured Division. There's a lot of fighting head here, clearly. Grab the bazooka with the Sturmpioniere, forming into a Ersatz Panzerjäger team. Moving up through the centre once more, intent on claiming it here from the Americans. Sherman being westwards, though of course it may have a slightly higher time now with more weapons on those Sturmpioniere. Panzer IV can also respond and maybe even flank it. We got the anti-tank, they'll come on the flank now. There you go, great on the Panzer IV, definitely problem there for Giap. Needs to get the Panzer IV to safety, and of course need to fix it up. You can though soon go for a push the Sherman to fight. They did at least upgrade with bulldozer blades in time. Good there for Deathcore. But definitely to pull those Sturmpioniers back. He may also want to consider eventually more Sturmpioniers to repair his stuff with. But he can soon go for another Panther 4, which would be a definition for Deathcore. But of course, another option now for Giap to consider might be going for a Panther, since it's going to be slightly more favoured versus the Shermans. In the 76mm ones, though, of course, it's going to be more expensive. So there's arguments for and against. Need to get those fighters from out of building. They're just fine with one gun there, which is not the most super efficient there for Giap. Not the most efficient. West side of one being engaged here by Deathcore as he sweeps up. Thumbs up. The Giap is doing the same thing on the right flank. And for the responding, Sturmtiger half-H fetching 4. Big counter push by Deathcore by the eastern cut-off point there, forcing Giap's forces to retreat. We got more Sturm Pioneers for Giap. They're good, they're good. Wrapping out an open Neon being hammered by the Panther 4, but he's losing the car point, he's losing access fuel point once more. I've done the 1 kill. Deathcore going for another Sherman, very good. Let's shoot Giap, in which case that is probably less good. Should going for the first one, his knees backed up with the Rifle Squad. Another Sherman on the way. Troops holding up here, Panther 4 being fixed up. Fighting the Eagles half-H with the machine on the bit of top. He should pop the Incendiary on Pigeon rounds. Definitely a bit of a mistake there by Giap, he isn't. As no matter be the MD42 or the MD34, the Incendiary Pigeon rounds ability is just great. Really should be using as much as possible in my opinion. West side of the Panther 4 round the captain there. Second Sturm Pioneer squad out there. And he's equipped that one with Panther 6 as well. Gave me actually a lot of anti-tank weapons now. Like, we got 2 Propagandacaster plus 2 Sturm Pioneer squads equipped with Panther 6. Of course, one of them also equipped with bazookas. So that's an interesting development there for Giap. Interesting one. But he can go for the Panther 4. Or is he planning for the Panther? In which case, he could perhaps be overcommitting on the anti-tank front. No, he is going for the Panther 4. He is going for the Panzer Kampf Wagen 4. Sherman letting hits from the Propagandacaster. And the Panther 4 joining as well. The Lieutenant right now, they're being hammered here by the Panther 4. Further cash is piling up here for Deathcore, and the first armed division as the Panther 4 strikes them. Strikes them down. Good. West side here we got troops moving up. They're hitting a machine gun there. Nicely set up there by Deathcore. Thumbs up. Sherman's moving up the west side here, pursuing here the Panther 4. Almost getting right with the retreating Volksbank squads. $108 versus 372. Panther 4 almost done there for Giap. Flanking in the 5th cal, very good there, good play. Attacking from south side, so they go forcing a decisive retreat on the 5th cal. He's sat there, he could also send him a bit more, and of course, Deathcore would stand trying to, of course, outmaneuver Giap as well there. But he could do with more tanks soon before doing that, and should consider, I think, mixing up with infantry and then pop combined arms would do some serious damage to Giap very fast. Jumping up there, Panther 6 Sturm Pioneers nearby, plus the Panther 4 moving in as well. Great from the Panther 6 there. Panther 4 shoots and misses into backing up. The east side here got a push up there by Giap, looking to outmaneuver Deathcore, leaving him a bit in the dust there. Though of course he can react. Panther 4 opening up here, shot 5, missed. Jumping up, there you go, more cannons piling up very slowly. Got that Sherman up there. Into line of fire with the Sturm. Pioneer Sturm takes several hits here, pushing down to less than half health. Captain almost wiped out. Panther 4 misses again by gains. Ready to just increases action. Meanwhile, east side here, Panther 4's occupied with infantry. They're almost getting wiped here on Deathcore. Deathcore's firing a lot of fronts there. He's not making much progress there. He's also launching a counterattack into the eastern fields here. Another unit almost wiped out, but once more, Deathcore's like smiles upon him. Got the Panther moving up there, misses there with the Panther 4, bit awkward. Should fix up the Panther 4, then move up to the west victory point fast. And there you go, Lieutenant, riding the Volksbank after some hard combat. But we got the fights moving up there with the Veteran Fee, and of course, more importantly, a lot of FD42s. Almost got Lieutenant there, go routed. We got 81 versus 372. Giap FD's working those victory points soon before Deathcore crashes them with them. Which would definitely be sad for Giap, though great for Deathcore. And of course, for Deathcore, just rushing the victory points in a sensible manner, of course, would be great. Of course, you can just throw away his men at it either. So, I've seen players in the past that just lost because they were so close to winning that it just would make some really bad trade because they could just get the victory points and then beat their opponents out, and that really cost them a lot of matches. 50 being expressed with the machine gun there. Sturmtiger's moving up as well. East side here we got Falcon Makers moving about there. Halfway to Veterans 4. Sturm moving eastwards here, close to Veterans 1. Falcon Makers heading up. Back here, troops reinforcing. Troops advancing there for Deathcore. Sturm moving up here, crashing terrain, carts, fields, thingies, wines, whatever. But carts getting crushed by the armoured bow of democracy. Panzer in face with a Sturm Pioneer, though he could do with another Sturm Sports assist. Then moving up to support the other Panzer IV down the right flank as Deathcore strikes. West side, we got a push going up here. Arcade nearby, but they're not ready for the Sturming up. Slightly further left than we're ready for. Sturm Pioneer routed, Fox being shot to bits. Brandhand got it off. Kevin too slow rapidly. He's getting hammered by the Panzer IV here. Casualties piling up amongst Deathcore's troops. Victory point shut off. Panzer IV 24 kills east side there. Fuel point there. Cut off. Sherman went towards the centre. We got anti-tank machine holding up. Here's one on the west side. He's German in a bit of trouble. Fox with flanking, not Fox makes another near wipe, but again, he just can't seem to land a wipe there on Deathcore. Back here, troops reinforcing healing. German flying back. Not far back either. Deathcore can soon go for more Shermans. We got 81 versus 3 and 30. Sherman moving forward there, needs to cover that building. Folks moving up. They could actually flank it with a Panther 4 maybe and take it out there. And then, hit it with some bazooka and Pantric farm. But no Panther 4 here from. Yep. Might be just too much else going to not realising he had the opportunity. But in their stance, taking up the Panther 4's flank. Needs to fall back with that one, I think, before it's too late. Sturm Punch calls trying to make a run for the heavy cover there. Oh, moves in front of the level. The Sherman's already aiming. Not great there for. Yep, not great. There goes some hits from the Sherman. Sturm Punch nonetheless still have to fall back. In the centre, the lieutenant trying to break through is being absolutely massacred. Still no incendiary RPMs out from the MD-34. Still feel like there's another side there, but got west side. We've got a fresh post here, but there you go. Panther Fast like Kednev's doing incredible damage to the Sherman. Deathcore's crew fervently chunking smoke all over the place there. And possibly looking like it's going to get away. Meanwhile, in the centre, Sherman up against the MD-34. Fights moving up, decked up with the Panzer team. And tank ready as well there. We got 81 versus 326. Going for these victims over the Sturm Pioneer, backed up with the Fallschirmjägers. That kit reinforcing. Got the Panzer IV about to get repaired here. Lost a weapon team in the 5th gun in the center, destroying it. Giap does not want anything to do with that American Scheiße. I mean, my God, why did you get fat touching that thing? Just moving for the center on the west side here, we got the folks with the advancing cavalry riflemen, backed up with more riflemen there. East side there, point being secured. Rifleman out being hammered to bits. Almost getting a wipe there on the rifleman. Sham's moving up there, close to Veterans already. East side they got the victory point secured. Panzer IV rolling westwards here for Giap. Shot fired, did not do a lot of damage there. Sherman East, we got 5 together. Sturm Pioneers nearby in the shed. Sherman advances, traversing the terrain there. Go right up from the Sturm Pioneer and the Pantry quickly back into the shed here, hoping they can survive the onslaught of the tank. Like moving up, he needs his tanks up here though. Lieutenant moving up in there. Go another Pantry strike hit on the Sherman. In the centre, fierce fighting breaks out as well there. 50 kills still lying abandoned. West side here looks like the Panzer building up for counterattack to grab the western victory point back here from Deathcore. In the east, still a bit of skirmishing here with not really much conclusive, as Deathcore is not really willing to commit much more, but others. Yep. West side of the Panther IV charging the camera on the side. He did not see Saddle charge off there. It's going to cause significant damage to the Panther IV. No, he can actually go. Oh, he can't actually. He's a full bobcat. But he can always go for some more tanks that loses a unit. German, they're going for the Panther IV here. Almost get the rifle caught there, but not another Sturm Pioneer moving up here with their Pantric, their bazookas. We got smoke bombs here. Sherman down to half health. Let's get plastered with all sorts of fire here from Giap's forces. Almost got the Sherman. He could combat blitz to finish it off here. Will he combat blitz to finish it off? Will he decides that's not worth it? Looks like Giap has decided that's not worth it. Bit of a missed opportunity to think there, but Giap in the centre. Folks, there's a 50 cal, we got 75 points left for Giap versus Deathcore 310. Artillery fire on the 50 cal, causing casualties there. Eastern Victor Point being held by Lieutenant. We got another chance for Deathcore, but this time he's bringing up the 76mm version. Panzer gun flanking been repaired, Pentagon towards the centre, close to the veteran free, then increased rate of fire. Missed though. They've still got the line gun there, the light infantry shots. Great hit from the Pentagon, veteran free game, right from almost entirely splattered across the centre victory point there. But we got the anti-tank on the rating engage the Pentagon. Great hit there. He's going to try and flank it. No, he's going to back off there. Makes sense. Still going to remember, try and remember use the combat blitz there. Whew. Sliver of health there. Another Sherman there, almost done for Deathcore. Machine gun occupy the western victory point. Sending a run east side heavy looks like a counter-attacking crowd prepared there, but Giap to claim the victory point. Centre words folks were being shattered by sheer number of bullets just going through the windows, the doors. No chance of survival there. Only hope is retreat. Sherman flying about here. Captain never is known to be seen. In fact, has retreated. Pentagon setting out. Veteran Pentagon setting dying repairs here. Center occupied. Got 69 versus 306 right now. Back in Deathcore space. Troop reinforcing healing. Got the Sherman about here, including now the 76mm Sherman. Adding the 50 cal on top of that. Nice work there. That went up, shoots. Holy hell, he almost got 2 in time to score, but the single hype was around there. Definitely a bit unfortunate for Giap. They bunched him up too close, and they made easy targets. He got super lucky there, though. They did not both get wiped. That would have been incredibly painful there for Giap. Could have been GG. Then again, maybe not. You may want to consider Mechanized Regiment while he's still filling no resources. They can't really build more stuff, but there you go. Airborne assault here to deal with the American units being absolutely hampered by the Shermans. Panzers are not responding. East side being grabbed slightly here by Giap. One Panther 4 is on the move, second Panther 4 is good to go, and finally moving up with the Volkskammer's and the Sturmpioniere. 56 with the 3 and 6 coming out here for Deathcore, straight for the centre. Almost got the Eastern victory point there. Got 3 victory points, all neutral at the moment. 55 is a 3 and 6. Panther 4 strikes. Bit of air support here on the Sherman, taking down to half health. Looks like the Panthers are going to flank through, and oh, catches the Sherman that's being repaired. Gets the crew active event of being crewed up again, but can Giap get any force down to exploit this? I don't think so, but would have been great if he actually could. And just steal it here from Giap, or Deathcore, punishing in fact, leaving the Sherman not that exposed. But thumbs up there to Giap all the way. Sturm has been hit. Sherman going eastwards there. Expected launching the flanking assault takes it out the centre. Maybe then that way grab the Sherman. But there you go. Lieutenant rushing ahead. He's definitely going to keep that Sherman out of crowd hands. Panzer 4 Sturm flanking up here. Ralph Squad, they're caught by the centre. We got 55 still versus 306. But Kevin up here. He's got any support from the Panzer 4. There you go. Great hit. Ralph Squad in the centre being obliterated by hail fire from the Panther 4. Sturm has probably to the church here. Firing away blindly at whatever looks suspiciously American. Sherman going for that Panther 4 in the east. Shot fired, penetrated. Panther back about to get knocked out here. Then back to Kevin's to the base. And then with the Strap Hunter calls on the way, Deathcore backs off in the centre. Though we got troops swarming in here from both sides. Need to flank and clear out the 50 cal there. Wrapping about using the church as cover from the Panther 4. Going to get out in the line of fire anyways. Veteran 4 there, 43 kills. We got the Sherman up the left flank with the cavalry squad. They're forcing a combat blitz here on the Panther 4 to get to safety. Swift maneuver there. Sturm has got about to get wiped out. Needs to retreat, Rückzug, and he loses his ace. Sturm, almost a Sturm punch with double anti-tank weapons. He's stinging blow there to Giap. Sherman taking significant damage here. Deathcore might have bitten off more than he could chew here. And there you go, Panther first off. But he did get, oh, the Veteran 4, Panther 4 there with a shot through the rear. Great there for Deathcore, but terrifying for Giap. He may have to consider him, well, maybe a Panther or Jagdpanzer, but definitely something that can stand off against the Shermans a bit better perhaps. Main gun out there on the Sherman. Can he finish it off there? Can he avenge the fallen? Sherman's got the eastern side here, engaging the Volkskammer by the eastern victor point. Needs to treat them now. We got 55 to 292. And there goes Sherman knocked out. Going for a Panther. The Panzerkampfwagen 5. Pride of the Vaterland. Sherman's rolling back here. Another Sherman away for Deathcore. Another Sherman for Democracy. 5th car there by abandoned. Good grab and turn against Deathcore he wanted to. Machine remains. Oh, Volkskammer remains here. Machine gun is now by the center once more. From now ruined restaurant. Shouting at the Volksman is with the Cav Rifleman, backed up the rifle on the flank. Oh dear, we got actual fire superiority. Sneaky. Thumbs up there to Deathcore. Don't think I've seen that ability being used much at all, so thumbs up to Deathcore. In fact, 2 thumbs up to Deathcore for using that. Giap situation's a bit, well, precarious. He still has a large force, but so does Deathcore, and Deathcore still has, you know, stuff like combined arms. Giap likes a bit of that. Sherman up, he directed from the Kidnappers though, so hits the Sherman, Peg pushing him down to half health. Quickly switching charge to the other Sherman, that allows that one to perhaps get away. Oh wait. Those Germans heavily damaged. Panther is ready though for Giap for Germany. Fights from the flank of the 5th Cavalry. Oh, entertain clearing out there, but getting hammered by the Shermans. Casualties piling up the mountain moments there. Goes 76 from Sherman, 52 as well. We got 51 versus 278 here. Pampling up there on the east side. Sherman on the west side here. Line for guns going to be in trouble. Light infantry gets shots. Still no intending up here down to an enemy for all. But looks better here from Giap. Still unfortunate. Still unfortunate. Bit of an oversight. Plans are going for the Sherman and misses. Yikes. Panther gets a hit there and there, but then tank rifle goes up. Doesn't do any ending damage, so at least that's fortunate there for Giap. We've got 51 still was 278. Cut through the Sherman, perhaps take it out here, going for the centre. East side, they get a bit moving there from Giap as well. Thumbs up. I think those folks will be cleared out in a few moments. West Victor Pond was wide open here for Giap to grab. Couldn't, I think she should do that. Got the centre. Bring the Kedmavs and the armour eastwards here. 51 to 277. Sherman's continuing up here through the eastern fields, now ruined for the most part. Going for Western Point. More fights made for Giap here at this point. Interesting. Interesting. He made one because there's a mines here and there, considering Deathcore certainly relying more and more on the tanks. If we could sort of slow them down with the mines, I think they'd do a lot there for Giap versus Deathcore. Fights under fire. Panther and Raketering up there. Big aim to move here. I think that's forcing Giap to abandon. There we go. Combined arms here from Deathcore. Oh dear. This could get a bit problematic. In the west here, we got troops being pushed back there. But the assault continues. The fights being routed. The Kevin falling retreat. The Panther falling back as well here. He's going on there to tank weapons nearby. We got a line for gun, but that's not going to stop the tanks. It's not going to stop the infantry. West side, he's showing up. He only turns straight into the Panther shake of the Sturmtiger. Panther nearby could all help, but the Panther actually failed to do much, if any, damage to the Sherman. Panther following in a good hit. A good hit. East side, he continued to move through the centre there. Folks comes nearby. Sherman on the west here, almost taken up with the Panther 4 and the Sturm Punch collective pop combat blitz to increase the rate of fire of the Panther 1, of course, accuracy. Almost got the Sherman here. Would be a great time for a combat blitz, maybe just to make sure it dies. There we go, Sherman down, Deathcore down, just 2 Sherman tanks here versus Giap's Panther and Panther 4. Another Sherman, another sensor from Sherman, specifically here for Deathcore. Folks out in the centre. Volksjäger Sturm Punch round to reinforce alongside the Panther. Great hit from the Panther and the Sherman. Down to half health. Infantry being blasted. Rockets flying and men dying. Looks like Giap may just have this in hand now here versus Deathcore. May just have this in hand. In the centre, troops moving up, being shredded though by the Volksjägers. 26 kills. The ace level Panther 4 moving up. They're slowly approaching Metri from the east side. Panther moving up here. Shoots and misses the Sherman. Can't wrapping up the flanking. The Panther need to be careful here. Need to get to safety. Get it out of distance of the. Oh, we also got troops flanking in behind this. Could prove disastrous here for Giap. And there you go. Anti-tank saddle charge on the Panther. Folks going to have support him. He's going to eat the Sturm Punch swiftly on that Panther. Fix it up before Deathcore charges it with armor, possibly. Though some of his tanks are not in the greatest condition. But there you go. Route squad down. Further casualties there for Deathcore. Further casualties. We've got 51 versus 228. Need to fix out the Panther and the Panther. What's going in here with the Panther? We'll need to be careful not to extend right now. So let's be mindful of the victory points and everything else. They obviously need to be careful not to get too passive. That's a tricky balance here. Troops reinforcing, healing, need to get out, then grab some more territory, and of course specifically focus on the victory points more than anything. Grab the point here. He could actually consider laying up flanking placements maybe here and there, but there he goes. Shermans on the move here. The 76 Shermans pushing up, but also pushing back in the face of the Volkskommandos with the Panzerfausts. Troops setting out, the Kevins on the move as well there. Ace Falchmaker's good to go once more. There goes jumping up again. This Deathcore planning. 51 Mr. 213. In a sense, of course, we still hasn't grabbed in the support weapons like the 50 cal would certainly, I think, help Giap hold some of these points. And there goes Shams engaging. Folks, things torn to shreds. Panthers almost good to go for Kevin's nearby. 51 Mr. 201.
We're at 200 points.
Third Sherman there, good to go. Almost ace little on that one. Grab the western point as well there. Good work, good work. Panther opening up the Sherms on the move, engaging the Panther 4 head on. More shots fired there. Panther almost knocked out. In fact, there go the Panther's down. The 276 Shermans making incredibly short work of it. But there you go. Panther strikes back long. But Kevin's also got the Sturm Pioneer, but still now he's got one Panther versus 3 tanks. He's got air support called in here. Around the centre, there's a count quite covered against the tanks as well as possible here. Sherman's backing off here though. Deathcore's done enough damage. He's almost got most of the victory punch control again. He did get the Panther 4. So we'll have to see what Giap does next. Does he go for a Yak Panther or does he go for a Panther? Or will he go for another Panther 4 against all these 76mm Shermans? Pushing west with the folks with the Lieutenant though hiding out there. Eastside here, a bit of skirmishing. Captain moving up, fresh to reclaim the carve point, though he will find himself, I think, a bit outgunned by the Germans. 50 points left here for Giap. Narrowly holding on, but it seems to be slipping through his grasp here as Deathcore ceaselessly keeps attacking. Despite increasing some not great odds in the smaller force here to some degree. Panther moving up, they're going to need to repair that. Sherman striking up at east side, veterans who won 4 kills. Back here, reinforcing healing. Sherman up again. More hit and run tactics there, it looks like, by Deathcore. Both Shermans being panic factories, soon going to have 4 Shermans. And Giap's going to only have like 1 Panther and a pair of Kevins and the Panther Shake. I mean, if he gets it up in the right place, great. But at the same time, if he gets outmaneuvered, this could be very difficult for Giap to deal with. On the hand, if he does get it, this could be GG for Deathcore. So this could be an all or nothing moment here, depending on how it's enacted and executed. Giap really should consider grabbing that anti-tank gun right now. He probably doesn't know he needs to, but he should. Like versus Shermans, like M1 and tank guns are great due to the high rate of fire. They can just push through the armor, like chew through the health there fast. So definitely been no mistake there, but Giap not grabbing that one. Doing a lot of good here. And there you go. Sherman platoon there on the move. It's do or die, guys. So moving ahead here. 76 Sherman packed up with the regular 75 with the Bullseye Blade. You'd think you'd have the Bullseye Blade one lead the way since it can take out a few more hits and deflect shots a bit better, but oh well. West side here, Sturm Pioneer Force going for the victory point there. Sherman's going to assault the centre, keeping the infantry close, but looks like he may want to expand. Just have it combined for there. You got Kevin's ready, Sherman through here. Double hit there on the lead Sherman. Lee's veteran one as well there. The Kevin could maybe take it out. They switch over to the next side of the boulder Sherman, which definitely still got more hits. He's not ready for this, so there were no mines from Giap either. Kevin with it annihilated. Sturm punch coming up, need to pop to the building. I think for a bit of better safety. Panther up here. Heavy fighting there. Infantry behind. They got combined options further increase the rate of fire of the Shermans. Allowing this to pump out so many shots. And they're just going straight forward. Sturm punch doing what they can, but they can't match the firepower. Panther there. Folks is retreating. Sherman's there holding back here. Others moving forwards. Panther down to half health as the 276 RPGs keep punching hits at it. And of course, they're both more than veterans once, so they increase the rate of fire to keep it close to each other. There you go. Panther down. Panther Shake moving in there, but not enough. And there we go. Deathcore. Will a hammer blow shattered Giap there. Was clearly not ready for so much firepower from so many Shermans. So there you go. GG. Game over. A brutal 1v1 engagement. You have maneuver, wits, and so much good play there on Arnhem Checkpoint. So I hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family. Don't tell enemies. This is Impel and cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you tomorrow again for a nice episode.